Nadeem Bukhari notes. Linguistics. The most problematic area in the learning of L2. Para number 1. During the course of language learning, EFL learners encounter varied complex questions of a syntactic, semantic, phonetic, stylistic, pragmatic and lexical nature. Various investigations into FL learning have indicated that these aspects are not equally problematic to learners at all stages of language learning. Some of them are difficult to cope with simply in the initial stages, others appear to be so even up to advanced levels. It has, however, been maintained currently the vocabulary problems are far more complex than any others even at advanced level. The grammar and phonology on any language are limited, whereas the vocabulary is open-ended and more problematic. Let us explain how this is true. Para number 2. 1. Polysemy. It is a well-known linguistic phenomenon in all languages. A polysemous lexical item stands for different senses which are related to each other, for example, head of a person, coin, an organization or delegation, etc. The learner assumes that one word has one meaning only. And difficulties arise when there is no equivalence in L1 and L2. Para number 3. 2. Homonymy. It is a lexical item with different senses which are unrelated, e.g., bark, the noise made by a dog, the skin of a tree or a sailing ship. Here again the learner tends to think that one form has one meaning alone. Homonyms are more difficult as compared with polysemes. Para number 4. Synonyms. A large part of the vocabulary in any language is synonymous. It refers to a set of lexical items in a semantic field apparently to have similar meanings. As a matter of fact, there are no two items which are 100% same in sense, they are quasi-synonymous. Their differences could be highlighted by paying attention to their syntactic, semantic, stylistic and pragmatic constraints. Para number 5. Culture specificity. Language is basically embedded in the individual culture and it represents the cultural norms and values through its lexical items which have no equivalent in the other culture, e.g., pub and disco do not exist in the Urdu language. There would be more differences if one culture is secular and the other is ideological. The learner needs bicultural information to cope efficiently with these type of lexical items. Culture-bound items usually come from ecology, material culture, social culture, and religion. Para number 6. 5. Connotation. A denotation is the common, central, neutral, and colorless meaning of a lexical item. When additional meanings or value judgments are attached to a denotation, it becomes its connotation. For example, pub is a place in the English culture where people like to go, whereas going to the same place for the purpose of drinking alcohol is not allowed in a Muslim culture. They are difficult for the foreign learner due to lack of exposure to the target culture. Para number 7. Cogweights. Lexical items, borrowed from languages genetically related or otherwise, are called cogweights. Urdu, for example, has drawn heavily on English for its vocabulary items, but these words have changed their meaning within the source language or target language. Paean and dizzy are unheard of in the contemporary English. but they are very common in the Urdu language. Para number 8. Idioms. An idiom is a combination of words whose meaning cannot be deduced from its constituent parts. The learner finds them difficult because of their semantic opaquencies. They are taken as single semantic unity and do not allow much structural change. For example, to drop a brick, to make a mistake, to have 40 winks, to have little sleep, etc. Para number 9. Collocation. It means a habitual co-occurrence of words with each other. For example, abide by, admiration for, and adjacent to. There are 3 types of collocations: fixed, free and restricted, all of which are difficult for the learner to cope with if he is not aware of the subtleties involved in them. Another distinction is made between lexical and grammatical collocations. Para number 10. Stylistic constraints on lexical items. A lexical item is conditioned in its use by a number of factors like the field of discourse, e.g. literary, technical etc., mode of discourse, e.g. spoken or written, and tenor of discourse, e.g. formal, informal etc. The foreign learner sometimes fails to keep in mind all these constraints. The Pakistani learner is usually exposed to one variety, that is literary English. Merciful, stylistic, free kick, kid and minor are all restricted to their own register. Para number 11. One homographs. They are the words with same spelling but different meanings and pronunciation, e.g. lead, guide, and lead, a kind of metal. Homographs are difficult in decoding. Para number 12. 11. Homophones. They are words with different spellings but are pronounced identically, e.g. right, right, right and rain, rain, rain. These kinds of words are also difficult at the level of decoding. Para number 13. All these illustrations clearly manifest that vocabulary is too difficult to handle even at the advanced stages of learning a foreign language because of a number of constraints on them. Secondly, vocabulary is open-ended. It is like a living organism, takes on new words, sheds off old ones. Meanings change and enlarge. This is, undoubtedly, rather difficult for the foreign learner to keep pace with all the transformation that takes place in a language over the years. However, regular exposure to the target language can be highly helpful. Then the learner needs to regularly consult a good learner's dictionary. It is the most reliable guide for avoiding any potential communicative failure.